Okay, well, I think because obviously we've got so many great speakers, and we want to make sure that we have ample amount of time to engage with them. Maybe we will get started. So, ladies and gentlemen, so good to see all of you again today for our virtual Meet the Member event for the month of May. I'm pretty sure I know everybody on this call, but for anybody that maybe I haven't yet met, my name is Paul Wright, and I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for the Australian British Chamber of Commerce. Allow me to start proceedings by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. As I'm here in Sydney, that will be the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I would like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. So we've got another wonderful virtual Meet the Member event today. I see so many familiar faces on here with a couple of new ones, which is great. For any of you who may have not have joined us before, and this is your first time, this is an event that we started during COVID when we weren't able to all come together. And we had to do things that were more virtual. Obviously, everybody got sick and tired of just listening to one person on the screen and leaving, and we wanted to find a way for all of our members to be able to engage. So we started this, which was a great opportunity to have 10 or 11 speakers, as we have today, of our chamber members from across the country, as well as from overseas, to give us a bit of an overview, a bit of a highlight of who their company is, the type of services that they offer, and more importantly, who are the type of companies that they want to engage with. And then that's delivered, obviously, to a wonderful, engaging audience of yourselves today. Now, as I always say, it's not really about yourself and the person that's speaking about if you can utilize their services. It's about us as a chamber community to really see how we can support those companies. So if there is one of our speakers who's presenting their company that maybe for some reason yourself or your company can't utilize, please, keep them in mind, because obviously I see such a wealth of wonderful business executives and experts in this room with a plethora of wonderful connections. So it's about opening up our networks in order to support the rest of our chamber members and really make sure that we are succeeding as a community. So maybe we'll get started now. As I said, we've got 11 wonderful speakers. Now, Ben, let me just hear you first. Is your connection okay?
Much better. I switched it to my personal phone.
It's good. It's better. It's not 100%, but it's still good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Ben. Ben's going to obviously give us 3 minutes of his time to explain the wonderful work that Stepping Stones does. And then obviously we'll move down the rest of our list. And when we come to the end, we want to leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. The session is going to be recorded as well. So we will be releasing this recording to anybody that wasn't able to join us, because we have so many other people from across the country. So Ben, sir, as our first one to kick us off and kick us off with a bang, your 3 minutes start now.
Paul and all of the ABCC team, thank you so much for the invite to speak. I used to be a recruiter, one of those unscrupulous ones, and it never filled my cup. It didn't do anything for my soul. And then I took an opportunity at Stepping Stone House. And what we do, we rehome homeless and vulnerable young people. We put a roof over their head. We give them a safe place to heal and recover and become the best version of themselves. I head up the youth careers, employment and education arm of the business. And one of my main aims is to put those career pathways together where we combine that sort of employment and education, and to help sort of skyrocket our youngsters who come into our program quite often very damaged and very traumatized. But I think we're all about care. It's the industry that we're in, is the care industry. And you can ask anyone who works in social services, any part of the care industry, and we don't do it for money. You do it because you actually do care about, especially these young people, the young people in our care. And the type of people that I would really, really like to connect with are people whose businesses, small, medium, large, corporate, who are wanting to help, empower young people. And, once vulnerable and homeless young people. And I know most businesses have got a CSR budget. And if they want to be able to, utilize some of that budget to our good cause, then I'm more than happy to connect. But then on another level, within Stepping Stone House, we have the Bawaga program, which is specifically designed and targeted towards young Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander, and Indigenous young people. And that is one that can really be utilized for probably the bigger businesses with regards to their RAP, the RAP part of their business, that reconciliation action plan. And, we run one of our houses is specifically for Aboriginal young people, and we do great stuff. Over the last 2 weeks, I've managed to find employment for two of our young Aboriginal people, one at Macquarie Bank and the other one at Sofitel down in Piedmont. And these are really highly motivated, passionate young people, and very, very employable young people as well. And if you want me to finish early, Paul, that's me, that's us in a nutshell. I'm very passionate about what we do, and it really does fill my cup. And a big thank you to you as well, Paul, for many years you helped support my little recruitment business, but you've really embraced Stepping Stone House and what we do, and you along with your team are doing great stuff in helping us to help young people. So, mate, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm sure it'd be lovely to hear from anyone who wants to, like I say, access this CSR budget and maybe their RAP plan. So yeah, thank you, Paul.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ben. Yeah, I mean, Stepping Stone House does an absolutely phenomenal job. I've been able to do a couple of webinars that you guys have run. It's absolutely unbelievable. And for many of you will probably remember Ben from some of the wonderful rugby events that we've done. Ben is an accomplished international rugby player, 27 caps for Wales, an absolute gentleman. But obviously, he's got many different roles in this world, but absolutely phenomenal gentleman to get to know as well. So thank you so much, Ben. Our next speaker is Rebecca Denholm. Rebecca is the lead for Asia Pacific at CTN Group. And Rebecca, your 3 minutes start now.
Well, thank you, and lovely to be here with everybody. Big steps to follow in, stepping stones there, Ben. But I'll give it a go. So I'm from CTN. We're a creative communications agency. We produce videos, events, and we deliver media training to a range of clients, government, not-for-profit, corporate. In a moment, I'm going to actually share this session with my colleague Teresa, because there are two sides to our offering. But first, a bit about what I do and me. So I started out as a TV journalist, and I'm now a video producer, and I head up CTN's office in Australia. I use my skills of storytelling through video to help clients connect with key audiences in the most engaging and creative way possible, and most importantly, in a way that gets results. We'll produce an array of videos, documentary style, drama-led, animation, but it's really about finding the right style for you to deliver your message to your audience. The videos we produce could be anything from a 30-second video for social content to longer for employee engagement, background explainers, for example. So when I saw the list of people who were joining here, and in fact, every time I look at the ABCC's list, it occurs to me that we all have something in common, one thing in common, and that's the need to connect with key audiences. It's staff, it's clients, customers, shareholders, funders, to name a few. So I picked out a few. You might be a property company that needs to show investors the potential of an area that's previously thought to be undesirable. Or you might be from a recruitment firm that needs the best talent possible for a sector that's often misrepresented or misunderstood. Whether you're a not-for-profit seeking to help young people who are homeless, or maybe you're from one of those organizations that does really fascinating and essential things, but it's not so easy to explain in a sentence or two. A well-crafted video can bring to life your stories in a powerful and memorable way. We'll work with you to shape your film to match your timelines and budgets, and ensure that the content doesn't just deliver the desired messages, but very much conveys your brands and values. So producing videos is great fun. Looking and sounding good on camera is equally important. And that's a good time for me to hand over to my colleague, Teresa Miller. Thank you.
You're just on mute, Teresa.
Okay, sorry, hopefully I don't get docked for time. So if your objective is to share your expertise, as Rebecca said, and your message with a wider audience, you can also do that through a media interview, or if you're on a panel or a podcast, or you're pitching to would-be clients or giving a presentation internally or externally. And that's where a CTN workshop can empower you with the skills and the confidence and the know-how to make you look and sound professional, personable, and credible, and that you get cut through with your key audiences. So we always say to our clients that an interview and a presentation is not the time for an original thought. And we would say, don't step up to the microphone before you book a bespoke media and presentation skills workshop with CTN for you and your team. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Teresa. And thank you very much, Rebecca. Absolutely wonderful work that you guys do. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of Q&A for you at the end. So thank you so much. Our third speaker is Manjula Vishwanath, who is the Associate Director for Soft Labs. So Manjula, your 3 minutes commence now.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, British Chambers, for inviting me to be part of this. Hope that's not part of my 3 minutes, but it's so lovely to be connected, and I think COVID showed us way that we can be connected wherever we are. We don't have to meet people face to face, but it's still good. But at least we have, this kind of arrangement where we're still able to catch up with so many people. So as Paul just said, I'm one of the directors for corporate consulting in Soft Labs. Just a brief about Soft Labs. It's an Australian-owned woman-led enterprise company. It was established in 1991, so it's about 30 plus odd years now, with a very strong presence in Australia and New Zealand. We specialize in automation solutions, ERP implementations, consulting, and software management. The company is very committed in innovation, and we excel to deliver tailored solutions that empowers business in the market space. We've got 50 specialized consultants and 40 skilled employees. We've established and partnered with several clients and businesses over the past 30 years. Where Soft Labs stands out is, I've just made a couple of points. I'd like to take a brief on that. Is established in 1991, which means the company's got a very strong presence in Australia, and it's completely Australian owned, and 90% of the workforce are women. And they also have consultants, and they're able to deliver consultants within a span of 48 to 72 hours with a 24-hour support team supporting the project delivery, for short-term and long-term projects. They specialize, we specialized in aged care, manufacturing, distributions, hospitality industry, and government agencies. Where I come in is for consulting, both for government and corporate and cyber services. So, happy to work with, your members here. If anyone needs our services, happy to be contacted personally, or, I'm happy to share my details across, and happy for us, working as a partner with corporate companies out there. So this is what we do in a very small nutshell, and open to exploring more opportunities with British Chamber members.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Manjula. That is absolutely wonderful. And obviously, as I said, we're going to be releasing all of our speakers' contact details to everybody that's on this call today. So you guys can obviously engage with them directly, but obviously still want to make this session as engaging as possible as well. So please, if you would like to use the chat feature inside here as well, so obviously, have any sort of private chats or public chats as well with everybody that's on the call, please do so as well. I want it to be as engaging as possible, not just obviously listening to everybody, but also engaging on there as well. So please utilize those facilities. Thank you very much, Manjula. Our next speaker is Mr. Petko Petkov, the famous Petko Petkov, who is the founder of Chefin, which is a wonderful catering firm that we partner with very, very much. And I'm sure that majority of you guys that have attended any of our events across the country have experienced the wonderful food and hospitality of Chefin. So there you go. I think I've already done your 3 minutes there, Petko, or you have done, mate. But
yeah,
Petko, your 3 minutes. Your 3 minutes, sir. Start now.
Awesome. Thanks for introducing me, Paul. And it's been actually a pleasure working with Paul since 2017, actually. We met Paul sort of around, beginning of 2017, and we had a few really, really cool events back in the days, and really, really good introductions, to be honest. I think one of the biggest value that we've got from the Chamber is these really warm introductions and the amazing network of people in. If anyone is sort of new here to the Chamber, I think that's the part that I really enjoy the most, because it's very difficult to break into the corporate market. For us, it's very easy to advertise to consumers. So we advertise to consumers, and we have a lot of consumer business, and we've grown our consumer business massively since COVID. But all our corporate business has been really rebuilt post-COVID around the Chamber. We've actually got introductions. We've done test events and showcased what we can actually do with corporates. We do lots of things from placing chefs into offices for full-time placements to cook for your employees, to cooking for birthday parties in people's homes and Christmas parties and stuff like that. We've got over almost 2,000 chefs now across the world. We cover conferences, retreats, and all sorts of cool stuff from like culinary camping to blindfolded dinners and dining experiences. And then the usual stuff like corporate canapes. We did a really cool event with the British Chamber last week, I believe, with Mike Cannon-Brookes in the Collider, which was really cool. And we served, or actually not me, I was just there attending with Paul. Actually, we were at the back enjoying the work that everyone else is doing and chit-chatting basically and listening to Mike Cannon-Brookes and Tricky. But I was enjoying the food from Chef Patrick, which was like lobster rolls and smoked salmon and caviar and some really, really cool things that are very different from ordering sandwiches and boring catering, basically. Obviously, it all depends on your budget. We do tend to be a little bit more expensive, but we have a really amazing offer for the British Chamber, which is for any events with the British Chamber, we do 50% off our co-sponsorship package. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, get in touch with me or Paul if you want to organize something. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Pekka. That's wonderful. And yeah, as Pekka said, we've done so many different events, themed events, whether it be a British, Christmas in July event to, things that are sporting related, things like that. And so, yeah, food, unbelievable. The staff, absolutely exceptional. So, yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Pekka. Our next speaker is Fiona Maggs. Fiona is the executive principal for Enigma Fit. We actually just recently held a wonderful webinar with Enigma Fit, which was fantastic. But Fiona would love to hear more. So your 3 minutes start now.
Thank you so much, Paul. So as Paul said, I'm an executive principal at Enigma Fit. Our CEO, Philip Campbell, is currently traveling all through the US and Europe. So I'm very thrilled to introduce Enigma Fit at this event. So we've had a great time with the ABCC. As Paul said, we ran an event on succession planning just recently, and it's really interesting to meet some very interesting executives and attending insightful events. So what is Enigma Fit? Well, at Enigma Fit, we work with senior executives and business leaders to rewire their brains so they can be their best with more time and less stress. So that sounds pretty perfect, doesn't it? But how do we actually do that? So normal programs like the MBA, directors programs, other training courses focus on what to do, frameworks, models, technical stuff. But we work on how your brain thinks. So I was actually introduced to Philip back in 2008. I was moving up the career ladder at Coca-Cola Amatil, and his approach was so different than all the other programs I had done. His assessment identified my strengths, but most importantly, my derailers, those thinking habits that were holding me back. And I could already see the limits that they were having on my career. So I realized I needed to upgrade my brain if I was going to progress. So if we look at our fantastic iPhone, that iPhone's had 18 upgrades since 2007, and I hadn't upgraded my brain at all. So Enigma Fit is just like the gym for your brain. It's deliberate practice and exercises to change how you think. Just like the gym, if you want to get fitter, you have to exercise both sides of your body. So traditional L&D exercises your left side, which is what you know, facts and frameworks. What we do is we work on your right side, which is your fluid thinking. That's all how you deal with change, novel situations, complex problems, working with people and teams. So we at Enigma Fit create balance between the two sides. So just like a gym makes your body fit, our program makes your brain fit. And because the brain's such a mystery, we call it Enigma Fit. So I was really privileged to meet Philip mid-career, and he did enable me to get to MD and GM levels. Another person, one of the members from BCG, Boston Consulting Group, said he gained an extra hour, doubled his turnover in 2 years, and he knows now how to deliver the outcomes, not just what to do. So Philip's got an impressive list of clients from BCG, finance companies, insurance, manufacturing, construction. Basically, we target clients that value developing their leaders' cognitive capabilities and adaptability. And basically, any executive who wants to be better. So I'm pretty sure, if I take a wild guess, no one's running on an iPhone 3. Put your hands up if you are. No. So we work with people who want to upgrade their brains. So it's a special deal. We're offering 5 free fluid thinking profiles for members on the call tonight. So it's 40 minutes, it's online, it's fun. So if you are keen, send your email in the chat. I've also got Susan Campbell online as well. And we'll also send you a link to our book up here, which has just been released both in Chinese and Korean. It got the #1 bestseller on Amazon in developmental biology. And so we'll send you a bit of a summary of that book. So that's Enigma Fit. We rewire the enigma of your brain so it is fit for the future you desire.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Fiona. That's absolutely fantastic and a great offer as well. So please, if anybody is interested in that, please put your email address in the chat so that Fiona can get that straight over to you. That's wonderful. Our next speaker is Freya Bentley. Freya is the Executive Director of External Engagement for the fantastic University of Sydney. And Freya, your 3 minutes start now.
Thank you, Paul, and it's delightful to be here this afternoon. Thanks for the invitation. And for those of you who are Australian, and I know I'm speaking with a dominated British audience here, Australia, the University of Sydney is one of Australia's most enduring universities. We're in our 175th year now. We were first founded in 1850. And our student population is more than 70,000 students, including 4,500 higher degree research students, so PhD. So one of the things that people think about for universities is that they understand that we are a source of fantastic recruits, but what we've learned is it's less understood the degree of research contribution that we make to the economy. We've got about 8,500 staff, and our alumni network, because we've been around for such a long time, is almost 450,000 graduates across 170 countries. So a really large reach and span in terms of that diaspora. But the thing that gets me out of bed and coming to work every day is the research and the young people and the innovation. So things that the university have done is invented the anti-gravity suit. We've invented a bionic ear, sleep apnea devices for the company that became ResMed. And our researchers are unlocking materials genome, discovering new virus species, and pioneering therapies like seq and RNA for rare childhood dementia. So it's the kind of workplace where, because we're a comprehensive research teaching, comprehensive in research and teaching institution, it means that you can come here and find almost any area of expertise that you are interested in. We're ranked 18th globally in the QS World University Rankings, and that's a cohort of about 3,000 different universities, and 11th in the world for sustainability. We're #1 globally for social impact of education, and we really care deeply about the people that are here at our place, and that we're hopefully being able to transform people's lives with education. But you don't do it alone, and we're part of an ecology and a system. And so that's why my role at the university is to actually spearhead and support the partnerships that the university has with organisations such as yours in either finding really fantastic people that you want to work with to hire, or to actually do a piece of research or some develop a spin out, grow your company, embed yourself in a different part of the community in a different way through teaching and research. So we spend more than $1 billion annually in research and innovation. We're a really significant contributor to the economy. And so it's not just about academics publishing papers. We pay more in payroll tax to the state than they give us in grants. And we're fine with that. We've got 23 sites with core research facilities, many of them unique. Industries can access those. And there's more than like 570 cutting edge instruments and 120 expert technicians. So that's available for things like pharma development, new drug discovery, but also for, if I reflect on some of the speakers today, things like mental health discovery. So one of the things that we do at the university is we have a multidisciplinary unit, because problems are normally not expertise specific. So if you think about mental health, it actually takes in physical health as well as psychological health, but you're also quite often looking at engineering solutions. And I'm getting the time signal. So yeah, look us up and please think of us for hiring fantastic graduates, either doing consultancy pieces for you or working with us on research projects to solve problems that you don't have the answer for. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Freya. I know that you could speak forever because of all the wonderful things that the university does. I mean, show of hands, who is a graduate from Sydney University that's on the call today? Anybody? 1, 2, 3. There you go. We're doing pretty well there. So fantastic. But thank you so much, Freya. And please, yeah, do interact with Freya after this call as well. So our next speaker is Evan Stevens. Evan is the sales director for the fantastic CBRE. And Evan, your 3 minutes start now.
Thanks, Paul. My goal is not to get timed out, and it's pretty big speaker to follow as well. So no, look, so CBRE, I'll give you sort of a brief overview, and I want to talk specifically about the stuff that we do. So CBRE, people would have probably seen us around. We're the largest property services provider in the globe, about $32 billion turnover. But the part of the business that we work for, CBRE is a big American company. The part of the business, which I'm sure some people will be pleased about on here, is that our part of the business started in the UK, in London, for a business called Norland Managed Services. So Norland Managed Services is basically a hard services-led facilities management provider on a quite unique model for the Australian market. So the Australian market, facilities management market, is quite it's quite dynamic, but it was ripe for disruption. So about 4 years ago, we started this part of the business. In the last 4 years, we've gone from 0 to about 800 staff, of which about half are actually tradespeople. So HVAC, electrical, plumbers, fire and building maintenance. And we've now got kind of offices in every state, servicing some pretty broad range of customers. You know, we do maintenance throughout the Northern Territory, for example, and we also do full IFM for banking organisations. So in essence, we offer 3 things for our customers: integrated facilities management services. So anybody who wants a bundled solution across FM management, labour, hard and soft services, workplace experience, technology, to really efficiently run their assets. We provide technical maintenance services. So like I said, HVAC, fire, electrical, building maintenance, plumbing, across a range of types of customers. And we're also a licensed builder, so on a principal contracting arrangement. So we undertake a lot of building projects for our clients across things like new fit outs, capital upgrades, roof replacements, a whole range of things depending on the customer. One of the other unique things about the way in which we operate, which is quite unique in the market here, is that we've sort of identified the opportunity to provide our customers with a lot more cost transparency, cost certainty through a fixed price arrangement. Now, it's pretty unique in terms of the market, and we're probably the only one doing that on any one scale. So the types of customers that we work with, really, we're pretty agnostic across sectors. So we've got customers in manufacturing, life sciences, universities, tertiary education, things like oil and gas, mining, infrastructure. The application of it's really quite broad. You know, the type of organisation that we're looking for, that we really want to help, is those that probably need some support or don't understand their sort of statutory obligations, compliance around their property, real estate. Those who want a good service under a single provider with a single invoice. I thought sort of Paul reaching for the tea there. Under a single invoice. Everything from someone with a single sort of site up to national portfolios of 700-800 sites. So it's pretty broad. But really, I think what we're looking to engage with is people who want to look at their property facilities and management differently, and open to have any discussion on any type of item around that for any of the members. Thanks, Paul.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Evan. And it's a great team that they've got here, you know, across Australia. You know, we work very closely with them in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, and yeah, great bunch of guys. So yeah, definitely, you know, try and get engaged with the wonderful team at CBRE. So thank you so much, Evan. Our next speaker is Liam Ireland. Liam is the Hospitality Sales Executive for Rugby Australia Hospitality. And unless you've been living underneath the rock, you'd know there's a little rugby game coming out here in about a month's time that we're very excited about. So Liam, your 3 minutes, sir, start now.
Hi, Paul. Yeah, so I'm Liam Ireland. Actually, I'm from Scotland and obviously Hospitality Sales Executive for Rugby Australia. So hopefully you guys remember that one. If you don't already know me, I know a few of you on here already, but essentially, as Paul said, we sell the corporate hospitality and the client hospitality for all the rugby union games in Australia involving the Wallabies. So here to talk today about the British and Irish Lions series, which today is 1 month to go until the series kicks off in Perth, so not long at all. So yeah, if you're not a rugby fan or a sports fan in general, or been living under a rock, I'll give you a bit of background on the Lions series. So essentially, the team is made up of the best players from, the home nations, so Scotland, England, Ireland, and Wales. Every 12 years, they travel to Australia. So the last time they were here was 2013, and the government are anticipating about 40 to 45,000 travelling fans from the UK. So the biggest ever. The last series was during COVID, so obviously fans have had a lot more time to save up as well. So yeah, this year the Lions will be playing in nine games, across 6 cities. So Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, and Adelaide. So 6 tour matches against the Super Rugby teams and invitational teams, and then the 3 big test matches against the Wallabies, so obviously Australia. We've got hospitality packages at every game, albeit very limited now because obviously there's only a month to go. So pretty unique opportunity for you guys to get involved and to host, entertain clients, or whether it's just a personal thing as well for such a historic sporting event. So yeah, we've got packages ranging from kind of premium sit-down functions, private dining tables, enjoy a 3-course dinner, all-inclusive drinks throughout. There'll be ex-Wallabies, ex-British and Irish Lions speakers alongside platinum match tickets. But we've also got kind of different packages on offer as well. So other packages, all-inclusive cocktail-style functions on-site, so in the stadiums that I've just mentioned across those cities, guest speakers again, there'll be live entertainment. And then if you're looking for something less formal and less expensive, I guess, there is stuff that's a bit livelier off-site. So there'll be off-site functions that'll have live music, appearances and stuff as well, and food and beverage packages pre and post-match. The functions that we've got, there's a mix of Lions fans, obviously from the UK, whether they've come over or they're based over here, and Wallabies fans as well. So it's probably 50-50 at the minute. I know this call's probably more UK and Lions fans, but yeah, there's a bit of a split at the minute, and all our merchandise will be half and half. So bear that in mind. You'll be lucky. You can choose what side you want. And yeah, if you have already got tickets, but you were keen on some hospitality, we do offer upgrades and stuff as well. So if you want to kind of swap those tickets or upgrade, we can do that, or we have alternatives. So we'll have our British and Irish Lions lunches the Thursday before every test match in July, so Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. I know the ABCC have got their lunch coming up, or lunches coming up in the next few weeks as well, so get involved in those ones first. And we do have kind of an offer as well for anyone based in Melbourne or has got clients there, or you're looking to head down for the full test week. There'll be a tour match, our official lunch, and biggest ever test match at the MCG. We've got a kind of exclusive package deal for all those as well. So if you're happy to, or you're keen to kind of find out more about them, let me know after this call. Or if you're keen to find out about anything else surrounding the Lions series, please get in touch.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Liam. And yeah, 45,000 Brits coming out. God, look out. They've been saving up for 12 years, so the pubs are going to be absolutely hammered. It's going to be a fantastic time. Now, Liam and his team have done a great job with so many of our chain members that have been able to, buy some of these wonderful hospitality packages from them. So yeah, please do contact Liam after this as well. So only 3 speakers left. So I do want to have a good amount of time for Q&A at the end. So please do start thinking of some questions for some of our speakers. Now, our next speaker is the wonderful Trudy Harrison. Now, Trudy got on this call at 6 o'clock in the morning in the UK. which is commitment by Trudy over there. So can't wait to hear from Trudy. Trudy is the market and business development consultant for West Lakes Recruit. And Trudy, your 3 minutes start now.
Thank you very much, Paul. As a new member of the Australian British Chamber of Commerce, I've been really overwhelmed by the welcome I've received, and particularly your energy and dynamism, Paul. It's really infectious, and I'm also incredibly envious of your networking, so-called business networking events, which usually seem to involve gin or wine, really great sporting events, incredibly swanky venues. So it's not surprising that so many of our UK nationals would like to move over down under. And that's really what we're about, because we are a recruitment firm, not unscrupulous in any shape or form, Ben. Very much highly regarded in the nuclear industry, established in 2011 by Claire Wilcock. We are on the fringe of the English Lake District, and we have by far the greatest concentration of nuclear specialists in Europe. 27,000 or so people work in this particular area. And that is because we're headquartered, I guess, in the home of the very first nuclear reactor to put power onto the grid. Up that road, you've got Sellafield with its 7 reactors, where the journey began in civil nuclear. And down that road, you've got Royal Barrow, which is, of course, home to the submarine construction site, home since 1850. They've been building submarines and nuclear submarines since 1960. And we're now a worldwide company with office in Dubai, serving the global requirement for nuclear specialists. And really that's about the highly regulated environments, working in roles where you've got precision skills, security clearances, and an understanding of working in the sector where you need to be on top of your game every day. It really matters. From Baraka over in the UAE to Barrow in the UK, we've got 50,000 candidates working for us, and we pride ourselves in being discipline-led. So working in sectors as varied as health and safety, regulation, specialists in electrical, instrumentation, mechanical, cyber, civils, fuels, waste management, project controls. There's an awful lot to nuclear. And really, since our commitment to AUKUS, there's been a huge appetite from UK nationals to find work in Australia. And also brilliantly, we're seeing Australians looking to embark on a career or progress a career in the atomic industry. So that's, put simply, why we have joined the Australian British Chamber of Commerce. We want to do more of that. You may be looking to progress your own career. You might be looking to recruit. That's absolutely what we are excited to be working with you, incredibly welcoming people here at West Lakes Recruit.
Fantastic. Thank you. And right on the money there as well. 3 minutes on the dot. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Trudy. That was absolutely wonderful. And I hope that you'll be visiting Australia at some point very soon, so you can attend one of our wonderful events over here. So, but thank you so much.
Yeah, likewise.
Our final 2 speakers. So we have Lily Jaffers. Lily is the VP Advisory and Business Development ANZ at Altios, a fantastic organization that has supported so many of our chain members as well. And Lily, your 3 minutes start now.
Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you, and thanks, Paul, for the introduction. So Altios is a big group worldwide, but actually founded in Australia in 1991 in Sydney. So we help businesses to grow internationally. It's all about international solutions. So we have 40 offices in 26 countries. Knowing that Australia and the UK, it's a priority corridor for us. This is why we have joined over the years the Chamber, and we're glad to be part of the Chamber again this year. So I'm myself French-Australian. I live in Melbourne, but we have an office in Melbourne and Sydney. So we help Australian company in any industry to go abroad. But we do help as well companies to come to Australia. So we, when I say international solution, it can be anything from strategy to expansion, to find a new partnership in a country, and all the operational aspects. So anything from setting up an entity to have employees on a payroll hosting or called employment of record, but we do as well investment projects such as cross-border acquisition, joint venture, especially in manufacturing. For instance, as a couple of examples, we help a lot of F&B Australian companies to have employees on the ground in the UK. So we do have the employee hosted on our payroll with the Altios entity over there, and they operate for a specific business or Australian businesses in that case. We have helped over the years as well many Australian companies to set up in the UK. So we can really help with any request in any industry. So we do work, I guess, with small to mid-cap businesses. This is more the type of profile. So businesses who are ready to go abroad. It can be, as well, when a company is just looking at, part of the world, that's where we can really guide them through. But yeah, Australia and the UK, it's again in both ways, inbound, outbound, a really good corridor and channel to work. Yes, I guess this is in a nutshell what we do, and always happy, to do introduction call with any businesses to understand more, your project or how we could assist. So we're really open to do that. I have colleagues in Sydney, and I'm mainly in Melbourne, but traveling a bit as well all around Australia. Thank you everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lily. And yeah, such vital work they do to obviously support these companies with expansion overseas and coming into Australia. So thank you very much, Lily. Now, our final speaker, and I've told him he's got to finish this off with a bang, so no pressure there, Alistair. It's Mr. Alistair French, who's the head of partnerships for the Royal Exchange, which is a fantastic venue here in Sydney where we've held so many amazing events. And Alistair, your 3 minutes, sir. Start now.
Thanks, Paul. Hi everyone. Great to join you all today. So just to give a little bit of background about the Royal Exchange Festival. So we're a business club founded in 1851, so quite as early as the Sydney Uni, about a year off. But basically we were formed as a place for the business commercial community to meet. So it was really like the who's who of the day, likes of David Jones, T.S. Mort, William Wentworth. Those are some of the founding members. And I guess it's sort of still how we operate. It's basically a place where people can bring their clients together. We've got about 800 members at the moment. So yeah, so whether it's entertaining clients over a lunch, we do a lot of events, anything from conferences to, excuse me, presentations, networking nights, whatever it may be. We've got about 50 reciprocal clubs around the world that members can also stay out and go to and visit. There's 5 or 6 in London in particular, which might be of interest. We host a lot of members events ourselves. We do a lot of offers for members. So yeah, it's really a place where you can bring your clients, and whether it's a boardroom meeting or a lunch or an event, a breakfast, whatever it may be, that's sort of the key of it. It's somewhere where you can bring your clients together. In terms of who I'm looking to engage with, any member of the chamber who's interested in membership, there's actually a free or complimentary reciprocal membership. So if that's of interest, it might be of value to you, please let me know. Anyone who's looking for an event space, whether it's a one-off or a venue that they can obviously hold their regular events on, and any associations or industry groups who might be looking for a home or a space to do their events or might be of value to their members, that would also be ideal. So yeah, a little bit about us, and yeah, any questions, we'd love to connect. Thanks, Paul.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Alistair. And as we say, yeah, we've held a number of events with Alistair at his wonderful facilities there. Fantastic service, wonderful venue. And Alistair really does look after you. And even if you're just looking towards going there and taking some clients for a lunch, again, absolutely phenomenal. So thank you very much, Alistair. So that's the end of obviously all of the professional presentations and the speakers there. So yeah, would love to obviously open it up to anybody that would like to ask our speakers any questions before obviously we close up the event. But maybe I will start, and probably let me quickly start with, I'm just trying to say, I know that Ben unfortunately had to go because he had to pick up his kids. Maybe I'll start with Lily. Lily, how is everything going from an international perspective? You know, are we seeing a lot more companies now, you know, since COVID and all those sort of things? Are we seeing a lot more of these dynamic SME businesses now looking towards Australia as, you know, a place of expansion?
Yes, I guess, you know, funnily enough, Australia and New Zealand, it's a 50-50 in terms of inbound and outbound projects. But yes, yes, the dynamic is a bit more open, clearly. I mean, yes, and you know, with all the US situation as well, you know, it's changing a lot of dynamic, but it's good. I guess it's good, it's healthy. It's just, you know, the vision of the world's changing a bit for expansion purposes, which will benefit Europe and UK and APAC. Yeah, so I find that positive.
No, fantastic. Thank you very much. And Trudy, you've got a question there, which I think you said, I'm keen to understand the Australian support or nervousness about nuclear energy. Was that towards anybody or just open to the group?
No, generally, really. By all means, contact me afterwards. We've been on a journey over the last 20 years in the UK, and it feels to me, but perhaps because I live in this bubble where there's incredible support, that the rest of the world is also positively on that journey. But it's very different in Australia because you haven't had nuclear power generation before. Obviously, we've got AUKUS, but the civil nuclear is very different. We would say probably net zero. There is no net zero without nuclear now. I think that would be fairly widely agreed, but keen to understand the sentiment either right now or at another time when people want to get in touch.
No, fantastic. I mean, if anybody has any comment on that they'd like to make right now, please do. Otherwise, obviously, you know, hopefully people will open up to yourself after this as well. But maybe we'll also then go to the university. So Freya, I mean, obviously there's so much that the university does, the University of Sydney. Who are the type of companies then that you would like to interact with? Are there particular industry sectors, or, you know, how would you like to interact with them?
I think universities, and I speak generally for universities, just not for Sydney, but you look at the way we in Australia want to grow our economy, and we know there's incredible skill shortages. And so I think there's really quite a rich opportunity to work with organizations about how to meet those skill shortages. So we do academic research to have a look at where the market is going, what kind of skills of the future are needed. But we also have quite extensive programs around internships and placements. And what I'm finding is that the smart organizations are engaging with universities as a precursor to their recruitment pipeline. So they'll actually come in and they'll say, oh, look, it's really hard to get a computer scientist. And so I'll have an internship program, and that will allow me to get early look in on the best and the brightest. And so that's quite interesting. And the other is you see, particularly in R&D, we've, as a nation, constantly struggled with what's called the valley of death, when you actually get innovation and entrepreneurs trying to set up their organizations, and then they develop a new product. You've got this really bright young person typically, and they try and establish a product, and it just can't get over that funding threshold. And so the way that universities are trying to support and invest and grow that community, we know that we need to do it with investors and the rest of the economy to make that thrive. And an example in our city would be areas like Tech Central, which is being established as an innovation precinct, and for which you hosted that event last week with much interest, but also around Westmead and what's happening in Western Sydney. We also know the federal government has said that most people, you know, something like 55% of our adult working population in this country will need a higher education. They'll need a tertiary education degree in order to be able to, for our economy and our people to thrive. And so I think that's on all of us to be able to try and work out what's the best way to provide that services, regardless of whether it's Sydney Uni, but that it's a collective challenge for us. So they're the things that we really focus on. There's obviously sectors and really hot areas of innovation and development that are particular to our country, but I actually think the bigger issue is economic growth and how the tertiary sector works with industry to actually really get that going.
Yeah. No, fantastic. Now I know that obviously I'm conscious of time, but maybe I've got one more question. Let's go to Rebecca and Teresa over at CTN. So obviously, as you were saying, it's so important now for people to find ways in which they can engage with their audience and and engage well. There's so many companies that try to do it themselves. What are the pitfalls that you find that companies, when the company goes, no, it's fine, we've got a marketing manager inside and he or she will do the job. What's the sort of mistakes that they're making by not utilizing, the expertise of someone like a CTN?
Sure. Well, thank you for the question, and also thank you to everyone. This has been absolutely fascinating. I've already got films in my head for everybody. I think what we love when we work with our clients is that you are the experts. You know what you need to achieve, your strategy, your messages, the people you need to appeal to. But what we can bring is that craft expertise, I suppose, about making you look good on camera, making sure the story is told in the most engaging, interesting way. A recruitment film is going to be very, very different to a piece of crisis comms, for example. I mean, there are many examples. So it's about tapping into the specialism we have of script writing and storytelling. The film work itself, I mean, mobile phones are absolutely brilliant these days, but knowing how to point it, knowing how to frame it is really key. And then post-production. I mean, what we do find is that the in-house capability can be invaluable. There's a lot of working together that we'll do with clients. And that's not just with the in-house film and video team, for example, but what we call user-generated content. So that's organizations getting their, let's say it's employee engagement, getting their stuff to create their own videos, sending it to us, and we curate that and edit that in a professional way through a sort of storytelling arc. But it's their voices coming across. So it's not that, bring in us and we're going to be the sort of cinematographers and make something that doesn't quite resonate. It's really about bringing together our combined specialisms to get the best message outcome.
No, fantastic. Thank you so much, Rebecca. That's wonderful. And on that note, obviously, I'm conscious of people's time. I know, Trudy, your day is just starting over there in the UK, and God bless you, got up at the ridiculous hour of whatever it was to be on this at 6 a.m. in the morning. So thank you so much for that. But maybe I'll just close by saying thank you so much to all of our wonderful speakers. It's great to see such a diverse range of our speakers from across the countries as well as from overseas, to give us a bit more of an insight into them, but also to be the face of their brand. And we love to encourage all of our members to be able to engage with each other as much as possible, to see how we can support each other, how we can open up our networks to each other. Obviously, we'll be releasing all of our wonderful speakers' contact details to everybody that's on the call today. So please, do engage with them, whether that's through, linking in or obviously sending emails or meeting for a coffee. It's a great way for us to be able to show support to each other. Now, obviously, on a side note for the Chamber, I just thought I'd give us a quick plug for maybe some upcoming events that we've got in the not too distant future. So tomorrow, obviously a little bit later notice now, but we've got a fantastic UK-Australia defence reception taking place in Adelaide, which our fantastic Victorian Partnerships Manager, Matthew Joyce, who's on the call here, he'll be heading that up tomorrow. Then over to Perth on Friday for another UK-Australia defence breakfast. We have a gin tasting. I know, Trudy, you're talking about all these gin tastings that's taking place at Vermont Watches again in Melbourne. Matt will be enjoying a gin and welcoming all of our wonderful members there as well, and some great networking. And then, as Liam was saying before as well, we've got two phenomenal, large rugby lunches taking place here. One in Brisbane on Thursday, the 19th of June, one in Sydney on Friday, the 20th of June. So please, if you haven't booked a table for that to entertain your clients or for individuals, then please do so very, very quickly. And then finally, we have our fantastic Australian British Energy Transition and Investment Catalyst taking place in the UK from Monday, the 30th of June through to Thursday, the 3rd of July. So if you have any of your colleagues that would like to join us on that in the UK, please let us know. Or by all means, if you would like to come over to the UK, it's a wonderful time to be there right now. It's sunny and everything. It's quite warm weather. So please do. But thank you so much, everybody that's been on the call today. It's greatly appreciated. We look forward to seeing you all again at one of our events, no matter if it's with Matt in Melbourne or me in Sydney or our other wonderful colleagues in Perth and Brisbane. And if there's anything that we can do to be of support to you, please reach out. But for now, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great evening. Good morning, Trudy. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.